It's the Jeff Ruby Stakes.
Trust the Profits is proud to be sponsored by Game of Silks. Go to silks.io to get in the game. Real ownership, real races, real rewards.
Trust the Profits, it's the formula, and we are bringing you to Turfway Park, as we do on Thursdays. Yes, if you guys follow along in the cocktail lounge, you know how much we love Turfway Park. And the racing that they give us on Thursday nights and the winnings that you can get there if you do your handicapping just right. So I love the fact that in doing a full field rundown, we can talk through the Jeff Roby Stakes, which is going to be happening at Turfway Park on Saturday, March 23rd. I'll give you a full field rundown on that. It is an interesting race simply because it's not on dirt; it's on tappeta. It's on an artificial surface. I know it's hard to read the horses that are listed there, but we're going to be going through them one by one here, so don't worry too much. It will be at Turfway Park. It is a 9 furlong race. That is 1 1/8 mile on Tapeta, 700K, a G3. Let's go ahead and get going and talk about the past before we talk about the future. Two fills, second place last year in the Kentucky Derby. So, yeah, how about a little bit of love for Turfway there? Not to say that it's a one-time occurrence either, because if you look in 2022, Tis the Bomb, yes, was the winner, but Rich Strike came in third place, I believe, second or third place. Um, Someone's going to kill me in the comments for not knowing the difference between second and third place in that race. But yes, was in the Jeff Ruby Stakes, did garner some points from that race. So second place last year, first place 2 years ago. How do you like them apples, right? Pretty strong, pretty strong. In recent years, you do get a couple horses that come out of this, usually finishing like in 17th place or somewhere around there, but stronger and stronger as the years progress. The Jeff Ruby Stakes is becoming a thing. How about that? Let's move on. Let's talk about who's in this thing. Starting with Freedom Principle. 2 wins, 2 second places. Ran dead last time out at the Colonel Liam Stakes in Gulfstream. Going a mile there on turf, never really making a dent. Losing to Arumar by 6 lengths. Yeah, you heard that right. Fourth place at the G3 Kittens Joy, going 8.5 on turf in that one. Uh, Running towards the back, able to move up. Previous to that, had first and second places in all weather Tapeta at GP, including a win at the Armed Forces Stakes. This is a horse seen go back and forth between Tapeta and turf. Seems to favor the Tapeta, so let's just keep that in mind as we're handicapping this, shall we? Dancing Groom. Oh boy, we're talking about last chance for a lot of these horses out there. Dancing Groom, you were indeed one of them. Fifth place at the Fountain of Youth in a lackluster field. Fifth place doesn't sound too bad until you understand that it was last place in the Fountain of Youth, 12 lengths behind. Never really shown anything behind Dornoch there. Fifth place at the Holy Bull, starting out in seventh, getting bumped, improving to fifth, still 6 lengths off of Hades in that one. Sixth place at the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes. I'm getting bored talking about this horse. Third place at the G1 Champagne Stakes, but that seems like an eternity ago. We're going to have to start to see something from Dancing Groom very shortly, and it's going to have to be in this race. Lucky Jeremy, 2 wins in 4 races for Lucky Jeremy. Third at the Sunland Park Derby, setting the pace there, yielding eventually to Stronghold, finishing 2.5 lengths behind, just ahead of second place, or just behind, behind second place in that one. Winner of the Riley Allison Derby, going a mile, sitting off the pace, closing to take the lead over um, at the stretch, and win by 2 lengths over a lot of luck. Yeah, I can do that. Interesting to note here, Turfway jockeys. Gerardo Corrales is going to be the jockey of this horse here. Probably the best jockey, or one of the two best jockeys we're used to seeing at Turfway Park. Noted. Todd Pletcher horse. Interesting cat here. Yeah. Seventh at Kitten's Joy, going 8.5 on turf. Never really a factor. 7 lengths off of First World War. Winner of the Pulpit Stakes before that, though, going 7 furlongs on turf and closing hard from seventh. Finished dead last at the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Never a factor there. A horse that goes back and forth between dirt and turf. Second place at the G2 Bourbon Stakes, going 8.5 there. Won the Sapling Stakes, but we're going pretty far back. It's going to be interesting to see what we get out of Noted here. What does Todd Pletcher think of this horse? Does he think he's going to win? If he thinks that this horse has a shot, he might keep Agate Road in Fairgrounds. Otherwise, you might see Agate Road switch over here. Oh, Agate Road, here you are. Cross-entered into the Louisiana Derby as well, as I just mentioned in another full field rundown. But Agate Road, here you are, setting up nicely at Turfway. This is a horse, um, yeah, the one time finishing outside of the money, the one time finishing outside of the top two was at BC, finishing fifth at the BC Juvenile Turf. Second place at the Sam F. Davis on dirt in that one, obviously. Closing from deep 11th, losing only by 1 1/4 lengths to No More Time. Second at Dania Beach, going on Tapeta there, sitting 2 lengths off the lead. Fourth place, closing from second, closing to second, 1 1/2 lengths behind Tokyo. Winner of the G2 Pilgrim Stakes. Turf horse, move into dirt, raced on Tapeta, deep closer, sets up nicely. I've got that as Irad Ortiz. I mentioned this in the other video too. That is going to be Jose Ortiz, not Irad Ortiz. Rode this horse once before, at least once before. Jose is going to be getting the nod for this one, assuming that he is actually in this race. Northern Flame, 2 wins in 8 races for Northern Flame. Got a third place at the Rebel Stakes, stalking the pace early on, yielding to Timberlake and Common Defense in that one, eventually losing by 5 lengths. Winner in allowance, optional claimer at OP, beating Mena in that one. Fifth place at the G3 Street Sense. Fourth at the Claiborne Futurity, 4 lengths behind Locked in that one. Ken McPeak horse. This is a horse I had written off until he got that third at the Rebel. Not that I want to put a whole lot behind that, 5 lengths off, but still finishing in the money. A horse that I didn't consider to be finishing in the trifecta and did. So that sort of opens up the door a bit, slightly ajar, Northern Flame. What else we got here? Woodcourt, 4 wins in 10 races for Woodcourt. At that same Rebel Stakes, fourth place finish, sitting in third most of the time, just behind the pace most of the time, eventually getting passed up by Timberlake, Common Defense, and as we just mentioned, Northern Flame. Um, Winner at Oak Lawn, 140K allowance optional claimer, beating Next Level in that one, but who hasn't beaten Next Level? Am I right? Winner at Turfway, going a mile at a 74K allowance optional claimer. Third place at Turfway and another allowance optional claimer. This is a horse that's been on Turfway. This is a horse that knows Turfway. That should possibly be taken into account here. Otello. Otello. Othello. Otello. 2 wins in 3 races, but 6 at the Holy Bull. Yeah, so this is the winner of the Mucho Macho, beating First World War in that one by half a length. But then when it came to the Holy Bull, not so much. This is another horse that's looking for a second chance. I mentioned Hall of Fame before. Otello is another horse looking for a second chance here, bouncing up to graded stakes, not having much of a showing. Now, time to punch that card and move forward. Either take a dump or get the pooper off the potty. Yeah, you heard me. Moving on. Seize the Gray, 2 wins in 6 races for Seize the Gray. Last time out, 150K, 8.5 furlong allowance optional claimer, beating Maximus Magic by a length there. That was Seize the Gray's first race in over 4 months. Before that, fourth place at the Iroquois, just behind, 2 lengths behind West Saratoga in that wild finish there. Endlessly, 4 wins in 5 races. Pretty darn sharp, Endlessly. Winner of the El Camino Real. Gotta stop myself from saying Royale. At Golden Gate, closing from seventh to win by 1 1/4 lengths. Thank you very much. The one time finishing outside the money was BC Juvenile Turf, stalking the pace there. Only 3 lengths off of Unquestionable, but you know how it is in those turf races. Sometimes they can really bunch up at the end. Winner of the G3 Zuma Beach Stakes, going a mile there, closing to a 2+ length win over Ngannou. Turf horse switching to dirt, switching to Tapeta, moving all around endlessly. Got to be an interesting one for most people out there, and also I believe the morning line favorite. Baytown Chatterbox, yes, yes, yes. Only because I can give a shout out to the crazy movie, Chatterbox. Look it up on IMDb if you got time. Uh, 2 wins in 8 races. Eighth at the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity. Eighth at the Hopeful Stakes, starting out in ninth, not really doing much. Winner at the Ellis Park Juvenile Stakes, which is interesting. Previous 2 attempts to break his main before finally did were seventh and eighth place finishes. Not a whole lot to say here about Baytown Chatterbox, other than look up the trailer for Chatterbox on YouTube. Just do yourself a favor. West Saratoga, third at the Sam F. Davis. I think a couple of us had written off West Saratoga. Claim to fame being a winner at the Iroquois Stakes when all of us were just starving for any sort of Derby prep. Iroquois comes along, West Saratoga lights up the world with a great finish there. But there's a whole bunch of stuff in between, right? So second at the Pasco Stakes, yeah, I mean it's a second place finish, solid, but it's not a G3, G2. Fifth place at the Claiborne Futurity. That's when the drop off started to happen. So what do we have here with West Saratoga? Is this a Derby horse for real? It's got to be now that we find out, right? And Circle P, 2 wins, one second place, two third places for Circle P. A Laurel Park horse. Third at the 1 mile Miracle Wood Stakes, starting out in the back, improving to third. Um, yeah, losing by 2 lengths to Speediness there. Third at that Miracle Mile. Yeah, winner of the Maryland Juvenile Stakes, going 7 furlongs. Got to think this horse is getting outclassed, though. At this level, at this point in the game, got to see a world beater here if you're going to be coming from a slightly off track. No offense to Laurel Park, but we're talking about running in a G3 here. So what do we got? We got Triple Espresso. That's the other horse that's double entered here. Double entered into Jeff Ruby and Louisiana Derby. Talked about this in Louisiana Derby. Colonel Liam, fourth place there, closing from eighth. Broke his mate in the fourth time out. This is a Todd Pletcher horse. Luis Saez in the mount. Curious to see where he gets entered. Obviously, running the Colonel Liam, I think he actually works better here than he does at Louisiana. We'll wait and see. All right, now we got it. Now we got it. So Agate Road, that's my safe pick. That is my safety pick right there. Agate Road, one of the two favorites, Endlessly being the other. Agate Road, I think, is like 3-1, 4-1 morning line. Endlessly, I believe, is 5-2. Of the two, I do favor Agate Road. My value play here being Woodcourt. Yeah, Woodcourt. I'm going to throw that name out there. Yeah, Woodcourt. I think you're going to get a value here. I think the horse is running. The horse is run at Turfway before, familiarity with the track, familiarity with Tapeta. If I'm gonna key it up here, I'm gonna say key on Agate Road, assuming he runs. If not, it's Endlessly. Add in Woodcourt and add in West Saratoga too, because West Saratoga, after taking a little bit of a dip, is a bit on the rise here. I think West Saratoga is probably the fourth horse to add in on the key there. Sorry I didn't write it in there. I'm just telling you right now, this is why you stay till the end. West Saratoga is the fourth horse I'm going to add in there. So with that, Jeff Ruby Stakes, delicious. Are we going to see some fast steaks or some sloppy steaks? Am I right? Am I right? Where's my button for sloppy steaks? I can do this. I can do this.
Let's love
Yeah, why didn't I drop that earlier? Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Who do you guys have winning here? Did I call it right? Am I crazy? Probably. See ya.